Hello, and welcome back to the cooking. And on today's episode So white people, am I right? Now white people are notorious for loving good food. And despite knowing what good food is, to the point where we've imported every other type of food from around the globe into our countries, we still don't know how to make good food. And the thing is, I think there's a reason why white people food sucks so much. Because you see, alright, we colonize someone else's food, thereby ruining their food, because we whiteify it. Because I don't know if, I'm not gonna lie, I think I speak for all white people when I say that rice pudding has got to be the creme de la creme of taking something perfectly wholesome, right? Like white rice, that's a fucking meal. And then we turned it to rice pudding, and we made it a steaming pile of shit. Before we make our steaming pile of shit, I just wanted to share with you what my grandmother made. Because my grandmother's a white person, shocking, and she made me a rice pudding, and it actually, surprisingly even, tastes good. So we're just gonna check that out real quick. That smells good. Sometimes white people make really good food. I wonder how this compared to the other rice puddings. I bet that was pretty cool. But you see, I wanted to try out a few things. One, I wanted to see if I could replicate it. Shut up, I can. And two, I've got this, that's a lot of oil. I've got this vanilla rice cream here, and I've always wondered, because my grandparents, or at least one half of my grandparents, is really, really into rice pudding. He used to get these cans. The other half of my family, including everyone who's not my granddad, really just didn't like rice pudding that much, or at least when they started making money, they realized they could buy / make any other amount of sweets that weren't. We're gonna try out this rice cream. So it says, you put it in the microwave on high for 1 minute. Life's unfair sometimes. I've had this fucking sickness for 4 days, and only now can I stand and talk to you. It's pretty hot. So we're now gonna crack our rice cream into a bowl. Damn. That's actually really good. Like, I would have thought this would have tasted like, kind of like crap, but it's just really sweet, really creamy, nice and sugary. Yeah, it's pretty good. So, surprisingly, both forms of white people food we just had were actually pretty good. So now I think we should see if I can make that. So I've got a recipe here. So what you're gonna need, is you're gonna need 4 cups of full cream milk. Oh my god, it's gonna be perfect! You're gonna need 5 tablespoons of Ariboro rice. You're gonna need a tablespoon of sugar. Now there's 2 types of tablespoons. There's like a normal tablespoon, and then there's a tablespoon. Half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. How the fuck do I make a half out of this? Half a ground nutmeg clove. We don't have that either. 1 teaspoon of orange marmalade butter. The fuck's orange marmalade butter? I've actually got something for this. See, I've got this breakfast marmalade, and I've got this breakfast butter. Then the method goes, so you're going to mix into a greased casserole dish, milk, rice, sugar, vanilla, and marmalade butter. You're going to mix well and then add the nutmeg, and then you're going to add 6 dots of butter on top. You're going to cook for this at 180 degrees for 10 minutes and stir well. Can't even do that. Alright, so like when I was receiving this recipe, I didn't really ask for See, now I can't even think of the fucking word I'm trying to think of. An explanation for why the fuck I do anything the way I do. So we're just gonna sort of wing it, because I'm not going back to the shop. I've already been there. It almost cost me my life, so... Alright, so I've had a light bulb, yeah. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna take this electric frying pan, and we're gonna do everything up to put it in the oven for an hour, and we're just gonna put like a shit ton of butter in here. Alright, now we're gonna stir for 10 minutes. I'm just looking at the clock all the way over there just to make sure, so... And you're gonna have to stir this, like... Because I think this is kind of like custard. You're gonna have to keep stirring. In fact, I might just see you in like 10 minutes. You don't need to be here for this. So we've been staring... Every time I open my fucking mouth. So we've been stirring this for about 10 minutes now, and I haven't noticed any discernible change, but that's fine. It's okay to fail. So now that we've prepared this, see, now we'll get our casserole dish. We'll get this one right here. We're gonna grease it up with butter. Greasing with butter is generally kind of annoying, but there's a little trick you can do to make things a bit smooth. You get everyone's favorite, the baking paper. You take out a little bit of it, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get the butter, put it onto our sheet of baking paper, and just rub. We're just gonna rub it around the dish, basically. There's a few reasons we do this. Butter is notoriously non-cooperative. That's why you put it into the microwave all the time, to torture it into submission. We're gonna put on the oven, which I've done this time, that's surprising. Then we're gonna put this in for 1 hour on 160. So it's been around 45 minutes since I put it in, but it smells... It smells way better than I sound. So we're gonna take it out. Interesting, okay. Alright, that actually looks kind of pretty good. I'm just gonna bring you around. So how's that one look? Not too bad, not burnt anywhere. Actually looks kind of fucking edible. We'll just let that cool down for a moment, and then we better have some. So we have a rice pudding. Now, it doesn't look that great. Let's be honest, rice pudding, not very famous for looking good. But... holy fuck, that turned out pretty good. See, we added the nutmeg in, like, as I was stirring it, and both, like, the nutmeg and the marmalade flavors, they are really, really good. And it's creamy, like the rice cream from the can. Color me thoroughly surprised. So as you're probably aware, we're going through a bit of a housing crisis right now, but I just came outside and saw this motherfucker right here. Maybe I can zoom in on him. This dude right here. Alright, look at him. Look at his real estate and then look at your real estate. This man is living it up right now, and he's paying no rent whatsoever. And you're like, oh, he's just got one web. He hasn't got that much. He's doing alright, but not great. No, you're a fucking idiot. Look at this. More? More. This dude has a whole fucking portfolio. And it doesn't just stop there. It keeps going. This motherfucker has not stopped. So, while all of you are suffering through a housing crisis, this motherfucker's thriving. Yeah. Life's unfair, alright.